If you don't love yourself correctly, you're never going to live the life you truly want. And that is why today we are deep diving into all things self-love. What that really means and how to do it properly. That way you can go after the things you truly want, stop feeling stuck, and start living the life that you were meant to live. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Eva, and in this space we talk about how to level up and live our dream lives. We discuss things like feminine energy, holistic wellness, and mindset. So if that sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing and keep watching. As always, timestamps are down below and video chapters are as follows. I want us to start off this conversation about self-love by imagining a person that we can probably all relate to in some ways. So let's imagine this woman is named Lori. Her dreams are to have work that is meaningful and fulfilling, supportive friendships, and a relationship where her partner is treating her like a princess. She really craves love and connection, which is a completely natural and normal human desire. In fact, studies have shown that having strong social connections and supportive relationships are associated with numerous health benefits. Things like reduced risk of mortality, lowered levels of stress, increased longevity, and overall just greater well-being and happiness. She's been told, like many of us, that in order to be loved, she needs to first love herself. And in order for her to love others, she needs to first love herself. So she's tried to love others in ways that make sense to her, sacrificing her own needs and instead doing what others want, wanting approval from others and sometimes not even considering her own opinion or forgoing her own opinion. She wonders why she doesn't feel completely fulfilled in her relationships or in the work that she's doing. She wonders why she keeps putting off the things that will help her move towards the direction of her goals. All of this behavior that we see shows a lot of people-pleasing tendencies, and it also shows wounded feminine energy. When you hide your true self due to the fear of being seen or limiting beliefs. So instead, you go out looking for external validation. When you are in your wounded feminine, you might also be easily triggered, lack a sense of personal style, or overall be distrustful of the world. By contrast, I want you to imagine this evolved version of Lori, where she's not afraid to be her true self. In fact, she lives and embodies her truest values, her truest expressions of her personality, and others love her for that. She doesn't feel the need to stay stuck in situations or with people where the energy isn't matching her vibe. She goes after the things she wants and has a deeply instilled sense of self-worth. Now, this is exactly what happens when we truly understand how to love ourselves, because when we learn to love ourselves, we really can love others the right way, and in turn, others love us the right way. So how do you actually love yourself correctly? Do you just need to tell yourself, I love me, enough times until you actually believe it? And what happens when you genuinely don't feel the love? We're going to be answering all of these questions and more. That way, by the end of this video, you will have very clear, actionable steps to truly and legitimately love yourself. So let's jump in. The first concept Lori needs to understand is this: everybody is ourselves pushed out. And this is kind of an abstract concept that was hard for me to grasp at first, but this was something that was developed by Neville Goddard, who was a very prominent figure in discussing topics such as manifestation, self-concept, changing your thoughts, and in turn changing your life. So I encourage you to look into this entire theory of everyone is yourself pushed out more if you're interested. So what does this mean? Essentially, the people, the circumstances, and the events that we experience are manifestations of our inner thoughts, beliefs, and feeling. When you are in your wounded feminine energy, you are attracting things that reaffirm your beliefs that you are not worthy of whatever you view you're not worthy of. Maybe it's true, genuine, authentic love where people see you for who you are. Maybe it's just a better circumstance in general. Whatever you don't think you're worthy of, you attract situations that show that. In order to heal this, we have to realize that as we become adults, as we enter the real world, nobody is coming to save us. And so we have to save ourselves first. I know it sounds harsh, but don't worry, this is actually a good thing. Let's see what Miss Taylor Swift has to say about this matter.
There will be times in life where you need to stand up for yourself. Times when the right thing is actually to back down and apologize. Times when the right thing is to fight. Times when the right thing is to turn and run. Times to hold on with all you have, and times to let go with grace. Sometimes the right thing to do is to throw out the old schools of thought in the name of progress and reform. Sometimes the right thing to do is to sit and listen to the wisdom of those who have come before us. How will you know what the right choice is in these crucial moments. You won't. How do I give advice to this many people about their life choices? I won't. The scary news is you're on your own now. But the cool news is you're on your own now. I leave you with this. We are led by our gut instincts, our intuition, our desires and fears, our scars and our dreams. And you will screw it up sometimes. So will I. And when I do, you will most likely read about it on the internet. Anyway, hard things will happen to us. We will recover. We will learn from it. We will grow more resilient because of it. And as long as we are fortunate enough to be breathing, we will breathe in, breathe through, breathe deep, and breathe out.
In other words, we have to take responsibility for our own reality. When you are a loving person, you attract loving people. When you are a superficial person, you attract superficial people. Like attracts like. I made a whole video about attracting the right kinds of people, opportunities, and situations into your life. If you're interested, I would recommend that you watch my video on vibrational frequencies, so I will link it above. So all of the things that Lori wants in a relationship and in other people, she has to give to herself first. This is such an important concept. Ironically, once we save ourselves first, then we can open ourselves up to that knight in shining armor, that dream relationship, those friendships where you feel seen and valued for who you truly are. Once again, what you want in others, you have to give to yourself first. And this puts you in control of your own well-being and your own happiness. Because I'm not reliant on an external source to give me worth or validation. I bring that to myself. That way, when I do enter into any sort of relationship, whether that be through friendships, romantic, whatever, it's going to be only in a partnership where somebody is complementing all of the wonderful traits that I already have. My personality quirks get to shine through, and I get to be my truest self because those things are not changing. So I want us to talk through some different examples of how we can actually give ourselves this love, because again, it still can feel a little abstract sometimes, and so it's nice to break it down and really see what this looks like in practice. So let's say in your dream relationship, you want your partner to give you lots of compliments or tell you that you're pretty. Great, as you should. Let's start by telling ourselves all of these things. So here's an exercise for you. I want you to write down a list of all of the beliefs that you would have about yourself if you were living at your highest vibration, in your highest state. So your dream self, what would she believe? She'd probably think she's smart, talented, capable, beautiful, whatever. All of the things that you envision for your dream self, write them down and start telling yourself these things every single morning. The emphasis here is really on feeling what it's like to believe these statements, and eventually, I promise you, you will embody those beliefs. I also created a whole list of affirmation prompts because when I was getting started on my self-discovery journey, affirmations were really, really useful on helping me to get to the point where I'm at now, where I am able to have this YouTube channel and talk about the things that are on my heart. So if you want free access to that, then click the link in my description below. But regardless, if you want a partner that is going to give you lots of compliments, start by giving yourself lots of compliments. If you want a partner that is going to give you lots of attention, start by giving yourself lots of attention. Ask yourself how you're doing genuinely. Give your thoughts and ideas attention by writing them down or recording voice memos or talking to a friend. Maybe you'll decide to give yourself a dance performance in the mirror. I used to love to do that. I'd put on a song, look at myself in the mirror and sing, you know? You're giving yourself energy. So there's different ways to give yourself attention, whether that's relying on your social network or it's just simply feeding into yourself. If you want the sort of relationship where your partner is taking care of you financially, you have to first take care of yourself financially. You never want to be fully dependent or reliant on a man. Because if you are, you risk having to put up with behavior that you otherwise wouldn't put up with because you are reliant on this person for your next meal, for your housing. So it's dangerous and it's risky. And again, we're not adopting the mindset that we need other people to save us. We need to first save ourselves. That way we can again open ourselves up to the abundance and prosperity that's out there waiting for us to tap into. So take care of yourself financially, set budgets for yourself, learn about investing, learn about real estate. I can make a whole nother video about this stuff because personal finance is another one of my interests. The important key takeaway is to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and take care of yourself financially. Other ways that we can show ourselves love is by doing things that make us truly happy. So maybe this is through hobbies and pursuing the passions that bring you the most authentic joy and put you in a state of flow. I made a whole video related to how hobbies can make us hotter, so check that out if you are interested. Maybe it is spending time with friends that fills you up and brings you a lot of joy. Maybe it's moving your body in some sort of physical activity. Whatever that thing is that brings you true, genuine joy, do it, and do not let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody tell you that it's silly or it's cringy or it's gross, whatever. Follow your heart and don't let anybody take away the things that give you joy, because those are the things that make you you. Those are the things that give you your sparkle. So hold on to it because it'll serve you so well. God gives everybody gifts, and so when you find a gift like the ability to speak and move others with your words, use that gift. The next way that we can truly love ourselves is by acting in ways that make us proud. In other words, be impeccable with your word. I got this concept from the book The 4 Agreements. It's very popular and there are some really good key takeaways. So if you guys want to buy this book, link in the description. So I want us to read just the first part. This is the first agreement in the book. The first agreement is to be impeccable with your word. It sounds very simple, but it is very, very powerful. Why your word? Your word is the power that you have to create. Your word is the gift that comes directly from God. The Gospel of John in the Bible, speaking of the creation of the universe, says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God." Through the Word you express your creative power. It is through the Word that you manifest everything. Regardless of what language you speak, your intent manifests through your word. What you dream, what you feel, and what you really are will all be manifested through your word. So that means that it's really important that we are only saying things that we truly believe, because otherwise we experience this sort of identity incongruence, and that hinders our growth. So, okay, if something that you're working on is trying to not judge others, right? Your highest self vibrates on a level where she accepts, loves others, and doesn't judge other people. But you're out in the world and you see something that you don't like and you say, "Oh my gosh, that's so gross. Like, I would never do that." You say something that's very judgmental, right? That is not in alignment with your highest self, and so it's hindering your growth because it's not congruent with the direction that we're trying to go. So it's important that we act in ways that help us become that person. Another huge benefit of this is that those people and situations that you're attracting, when you are 100% aligned in your true self, you will know that those are exactly what is meant for you because they're truly seeing you for who you are. It's also important that you give yourself grace as you learn how to be impeccable with your word, because these changes don't happen overnight, just like Taylor Swift said. We're gonna make mistakes. There's gonna be times where we do say things that are not in alignment with our character. We don't need to beat ourselves up over it, because we know there are going to be more opportunities for us to be better and to grow. And this whole journey of life is a process. And if we use it wisely, we learn and grow naturally throughout. Being impeccable with your word also helps to hold yourself accountable to things. So the goals that you have for yourself, maybe you want to start your dream business. When you say to yourself, "I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning to, do XYZ for my business," holding yourself accountable shows yourself that you actually can do these things and you are moving in the direction of your goals. You're moving in the direction of becoming your highest self. So let's review the 3 things that we have covered so far. In order to truly love ourselves, to have deep self-love, we need to first give ourselves the things that we want from others. Number 2, we need to be truly doing things that make us happy. And number 3, we need to act in ways that make ourselves proud, aka be impeccable with our word. Not only did all of these things truly fill me up and make me feel like a happier person, but it helped me to find people that see me for who I truly am. And that's really what we want. We want to be seen and accepted for who we are. And loving ourselves first is how we get that acceptance. So hopefully you've taken away something from this video. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch if you've made it this far. I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. It really helps me out and helps me to keep creating content. And thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.